Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Concord's multi-platform worship service. My name is Dan Fry. My pronouns are he and him and his, and I am your worship associate today. Thank you for joining us this morning for our service titled The Relationship Between Spirituality and Religion. We are an inclusive church where we support each other on our own and our shared spiritual journeys. We celebrate diversity of lifestyles and religious beliefs. We embrace the beauty within each of us, yet acknowledge the imperfections that make us human. In other words, you are all welcome, and I am glad we can be together, both online and in person. I'm especially happy to welcome first-time and returning visitors. If you are a visitor, we hope you will find us We hope you will find us a community eager to welcome you and respectful of the path that has brought you here this morning. For information about our church, take a look at the pew folders or check out the Visitors Corner outside the church office. Also, anyone wearing a colorful lei is ready to welcome you and answer any questions you may have. Make those questions hard. For our online visitors, it would be wonderful if you introduced yourself on the chat so we know you are with us. Our church buildings are located on traditional homelands of the Pinnacook Abenaki people, past and present. We acknowledge and honor with gratitude the land and the people who have stewarded it for generations. For a complete listing of church events and news, please click the link at the bottom of any of our web pages to request our weekly e-bulletin and a copy of Parish Notes, our monthly newsletter. You can also find us on Facebook and on our YouTube channel. For links to resources referenced today, use the QR code on your order of service. Now let's welcome Karen for additional announcements.
Thank you, Dan. Following the service, there will be social time in the courtyard. During social time, please stop by the window dressers table to learn more about the community service project at UU Concord is doing along with the Concord Lions Club. If you'd like to lower your utility bills and help save the planet, mostly mosey on over to the window dressers table where you can see a sampling insulating insert and sample some yummy treats. Another grounds workday will happen after the service today to get the mulch spread. Can you help? Even a half hour would be greatly appreciated. Now please rise and embody your spirit as we sing our song of welcome in the Teal hymnal, When Our Heart is in a Holy Place. The lyrics will be on the screen. Standing and join me in our words of covenant found on the screen. Love is the spirit of this church, and service its call. Let this be our covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek truth in love, and help one another. Whoever you are, wherever you are on your life journey, come, let us worship together. Please be seated. Each week, we light our chalice to set apart this time apart and to make it sacred. If you are at home and have a candle or a chalice ready, I invite you to light it now as my mom, Noreen, lights our chalice in the sanctuary.
Please repeat after me. It is a blessing to be. It is a blessing to be here. It is a blessing to be here now. It is a blessing to be here now together.
I'd like to share a few quotes I found on spirituality. Our spiritual lives are where we reckon head-on with the mystery of ourselves and the mystery of each other. Our spiritual traditions have carried virtues across time. They are not the stuff of saints and heroes, but the tools for the art of living. They are pieces of intelligence about human behavior that neuroscience is now exploring with new words and images. What we practice, we become. Krista Tippett. By spiritual, I mean the ancient and abiding human quest for connectedness with something larger and much more trustworthy than our egos, with our own, with one another, with the worlds of history and nature, and with the invisible winds of the spirit, and with the mystery of being alive. Parker Palmer. Spirituality is not an idea, it's an experience. Reverend Peter Morales. I've learned being spiritual is a deeply personal and broad concept, meaning different things to different people. However, there are some common themes emerge when trying to define it. One is connection to something bigger. At its heart, spirituality often involves a sense of connection to something beyond oneself. This something bigger could be a higher power, a God, the universe, nature, humanity as a whole, or even one's own inner wisdom. It's about recognizing that you are part of something larger than your individual existence. Another is a search for meaning and purpose. Spiritual individuals often engaged in a quest for a deeper meaning and purpose in life. They ponder existential questions like, why am I here? What is the point of it all? This search can lead to a sense of direction and fulfillment. Also is a personal growth and transformation. Many spiritual paths emphasize self-improvement, self-awareness, and a continuous process for growth. This can involve introspection, overcoming challenges, developing virtues, and striving to become a more compassionate and loving person. Being spiritual is a journey of self-discovery and connection, constantly evolving as an individual experiences life and reflects on its deeper meaning. Some spiritual practices might be meditation and mindfulness, prayer, nature, acts of service and compassion, religious or spiritual rituals. Here are a few things that I do that I consider to be spiritual. Watching the sunset from the beach, spending time with my family, singing in the choir, and volunteering in this community and with Sanctuary Boston. I wonder, what do you do that you consider to be spiritual? Please rise in body as we sing number 1051 in the Teal hymnal, We Are. Please be seated. We now turn to the joys and sorrows we carry individually and as a community. Will you take a breath with me? As we surrender to this moment, let us notice our body resting, grounded, supported by the earth. As the piano begins to play, you are invited to come forward, light a candle, or place a stone at the table to your right, or add a note to our Holding Our Grief wheel. And if you wish, come to the microphone, tell us your name, and share briefly from your heart so the congregation can hold you in love.
Good morning. I don't know what's come over me this morning, but I lit a candle for joy, and the joy is my grandson, and he's 8 months old, and every day I'm grateful that he's with me and that he was born a star, like the song we just sang. So thank you.
Morning, I'm Jim Curley, and I have a joy, and that is today. Today, my wife and I will celebrate our 51st wedding anniversary.
I also have a joy. Yesterday, we had a pollinator fair at Rollins Park, and it was a huge success. We had a lot of vendors. We had a lot of people who came, and then we had the dedication for Natalie, and everybody go check it out at Rollins Park. In the pollinator garden is a butterfly bench, and it is absolutely beautiful. And the work that Laurel and Andy did for this was just unbelievable, and everything really worked out very well. I don't know if there was any hiccups. Well, I'm sure there were, but it was really a big success.
So my joy, I'm Krista, and my pronouns she, her. My joy is that today I am going to be traveling to Germany, and it's been over 30 years since I've been there, but I'm really excited to go visit my cousins, as well as meet Michael's parents for the first time, and so looking forward to that. I fly out today, and next time you see me, hopefully Michael will be back here with me as well. We come back on the same flight.
I'm Martha May, and I'd like to share a very small joy compared to, the continuum of joys in this world of joys and sorrows. And it happened last Friday, and As some of you know, I'm part of the senior singles social group, and we decided that we would do a meal or several meals for Bevan and his son Clay. And so I just put out a notice and said, you can come to my kitchen and we'll do it together, and we can share bringing the ingredients. And several people donated ingredients, and one of our members who I really didn't know well at all, she's come to some of our group activities, but really we'd never had a chance to talk. She volunteered to come and have us cook together. And it was an extraordinarily lovely experience to spend time together with someone whom I really did not know and sort of discover each other. And that's one of the joys for me of being a part and new to this church, is I'm just discovering so many delightful, incredible, wonderful, special people who are now part of my life. So that's a big joy. I didn't know I was going to say that. Thank you all.
Amir, he, him. I also have a joy to share. Last week, my partner and I of 3 years got engaged. So, thank you.
I now invite Bob to light one more candle on behalf of those who are not with us today or chose to remain seated. We hold in love Bevan Talk and Lauren Hill. Please join me in the spirit of prayer. The musical meditation will be Sanctuary, and the words will be on the screen. Opening thoughts, part 2. Now some quotes on religion. Religion is about turning untested belief into unshakable truth through the power of institutions and the passage of time. Richard Dawkins. True religion is real living, living with all one's soul, and all one's goodness and righteousness. Albert Einstein. Being religious means asking passionately the question of the meaning of our existence and being willing to receive the answers, even if the answers hurt. Paul Tillich. Being religious often means having a strong belief in a god or gods, or in an acknowledged ultimate reality or deity. It involves adherence to a system of faith and worship, often including designated behaviors, practices, morals, and a worldview. Here are some key aspects of what it might mean to be considered religious. A belief in a higher power or ultimate reality. This is the fundamental aspect. Religious people typically believe in the divine beings, spiritual forces, or a transcendent truth that shapes existence and meaning. Also, adherence to a system of beliefs and practices. Religions provide frameworks for the understanding of the world, morality, and purpose. This often includes a sacred text or scripture, rituals and observances, practices like prayer, meditation, ceremonies, and holidays that express and reinforce beliefs. Moral and ethical codes, guidelines for behavior often rooted in divine commands or spiritual principles. Community and tradition, shared experiences, communal worship, and the passing down of belief through generation. Search for meaning and purpose. Religion often provides answers to fundamental questions about life, death, suffering, and human existence, offering a sense of purpose and belonging. It's important to note that being religious can manifest in diverse ways. Some people are deeply devout and outwardly expressive of their faith, while others may have a more private or nuanced spiritual practice. The specific beliefs and practices vary greatly across different religions, but the core essence often involves a connection to something beyond the material world and a framework for living a meaningful life. As I mentioned earlier, one of my spiritual practices is volunteering with Sanctuary Boston. Sanctuary Boston is a progressive spiritual community of vibrant worship and real connection in the Boston area. They offer both in-person and online opportunities. My participation with Sanctuary Boston is mainly online. I'm part of the pastoral care team. I facilitate small groups, known here at UU Concord as covenant groups. I'm also one of their Zoom hosts for their online services. I was originally drawn to Sanctuary Boston because of their music. Sanctuary Boston worship services have music, and more music. Oh, and some reflections too. The messages and the reflections and the music keep me coming back for more. Earlier this summer, the Sanctuary Boston Band released their first ever album. For our anthem today, we're going to watch and listen to the Sanctuary Boston perform More of This.
One, two, three.
Oh Look at all this, what a gift, what a gift. The world is a miracle. I wanna fall back in love with. This is a prayer, if you're there, if you're there, could I find more of this? The waves carry me in, salt water on my skin. I'm coming home. Close my eyes while you drive. Sometimes it's just time to go. Look at all this, what a gift, what a gift. The world is a miracle. I wanna fall back in love with. This is a prayer, if you're there, if you're there, could I find more of it? It's the road, it's the sky, it's that look in your eyes, it's the touch, it's the kiss, it's the pocket of rent, it's the scrape on your knee, it's the knock on the door, it's the no, it's the yes, it's the kid in the store, it's the road, it's the sky, it's that look in your eyes, it's the touch, it's the kiss, it's the pocket of rent, it's the scrape on your knee, it's the knock on the door, it's the no, it's the yes, it's the kid in the store, it's the road, it's the sky, it's that look in your eyes, it's the touch, it's the kiss, it's the pocket of rent, it's the scrape on your knee, it's the knock on the door, it's the no, it's the yes, it's the kid in the store, it's the road, it's the sky, it's that look in your eyes, it's the touch, it's the kiss, it's the pocket of rent, it's the scrape on your knee, it's the knock on the door, it's the no, it's the yes, it's the kid in the store. Look at all this, what a gift, what a gift. The world is a miracle. I wanna fall back in love with. This is a prayer, if you're there, if you're there, could I find more of this? Look at all this, what a gift, what a gift. The world is a miracle. I wanna fall back in love with. This is a prayer, if you're there, if you're there, could I find more of this?
The relationship between spirituality and religion. Thank you for being here today. I'm Karen Thomas. My pronouns are she, her. I'd like to explore the relationship between spirituality and religion. Often these two words are used interchangeably, or sometimes they're pitted against one another, as if one must choose between a personal inner journey and a communal structured practice. But what if for us, they are not opposing forces, but rather two intertwined paths leading to a more profound and meaningful existence? This morning, we've heard brief descriptions of both spirituality and religion. I don't know about you, but I'm hearing similarities between describing oneself as spiritual and religious. I'm going to share my story of and how I see the relationship between being spiritual and religious. I was raised in the Catholic faith and considered myself a religious person. Catholics believe in the Trinity. God is the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. There are 7 sacraments, considered sacred rituals, instituted by Christ, through which God's grace is given to believers. Receiving the sacraments is an outward sign of inward grace. They are the rituals that signify and effect spiritual transformation of the recipient, making them participants in divine nature. My family went to church each week. Most often, we went together as a family. We kids attended CCD classes each week. CCD classes are the Catholic version of religious education or faith formation classes. In these classes, we learned about the Catholic faith, the sacraments, and how to live out these values. Being the good Catholic that I was married in the Catholic Church with a traditional wedding ceremony, including the Catholic Mass. I raised my kids in the Catholic Church. They also attended CCD classes, learning the same things I learned as a kid. This is what I knew, and it was what I did. As an adult, I found companionship and comfort in the church, often with other parents also raising their kids in the Catholic faith. I was a part of that community. I felt like I belonged somewhere. Until life changed. I got divorced. In the Catholic faith, divorce does not end a marriage in the eyes of the church, as marriage is seen as a permanent bond, while a civil divorce is recognized legally. A Catholic who is divorced remains in the church and cannot marry within the church unless they obtain an annulment. An annulment, or a declaration of nullity, is the church's process that determines if a valid marriage existed in the first place. And it's not a declaration that the marriage was a failure. After my divorce, I recall meeting with the priest of our church. I needed to know how and where did I fit in my religious community as a divorced Catholic. Father Mark told me ultimately it was between me and God to determine how I fit in and continue to participate within the church where I felt it was right. I recall a huge sense of relief. I could continue to be a member of this church with my religious community. I had my people, and it would be okay. I would be okay. Thank God. Well, that got me thinking. Well, if I'm now picking and choosing what rules of the Catholic Church to follow, can I still call myself Catholic? Up to this point in my life, I never questioned what I believed regarding religion, yet I called myself a religious person. And I no longer felt I belonged in the Catholic Church, yet I continued attending so my kids would have a religious home. I got married for the second time to Craig, my high school sweetheart. This marriage ceremony was very different. We planned the entire celebration in 4 days. We had a simple ceremony. We were married in my in-laws' backyard by the minister of the hospice organization for whom I was working at the time. The ceremony was brief, followed by a pool party and a barbecue. I even got tossed into the pool in my wedding dress, which was not a formal wedding dress. Newly married, I continued to try to figure out where I fit in. And Craig and I were looking for a faith community in which we could continue raising our kids. We ended up at the Unitarian Universalist Church in Nashua, which, by the way, was the church Craig grew up in. Still trying to figure it all out, there was a time that I was attending both the Catholic Church and the Unitarian Church, especially at Christmas. It's the music. As I became more involved in the church in Nashua, I began questioning, well, what do I believe? Who am I? And where do I fit in this wild and crazy world? It's been about 10 years since I joined a Unitarian church, and I still don't have all the answers, and that's okay. I'm a work in progress. As many of you know, Unitarian Universalism is a covenantal faith, emphasizing shared relationships and ethical behavior over a set of shared beliefs and not a particular creed. Think deeds, not creeds. I learned that many things I was already doing in my life are spiritual, like watching the sunset, spending time with family, singing, volunteering, etc. These spiritual activities help me feel connected to the Unitarian Universalist religious community. Natalie Briscoe, the lead for the southern region of the Unitarian Universalist Association, created a covenant triangle. Spiritual and religious are two ways we relate to our transcendent center of value and power, ways we connect to something bigger than ourselves, our core values. Now visualize a triangle. At the top of the triangle are the core values. Your Concord core values, also known as our mission, are connecting in love and service, growing spirituality, and transforming ourselves in the world. At the bottom left-hand corner of our triangle is me as an individual. In the bottom right-hand corner is we as a congregation, a larger faith community. The sides of the triangle are the ways in which we relate to those core values. Spiritual is the way I relate to my core values, my spiritual practice, and how I live in the world, one side of the triangle. Religious is how we as a congregation connect to live out those shared values together. Coming together, our church's commitments to justice, and how we make choices together and live in a community. We live our values and are transformed by them. Back to our triangle. Are you still with me? So we have core at the top, me and we at the bottom. We've talked about spirituality and religion on the sides. At the base of the triangle is community, connecting me and we. This is how you relate to your congregation or your larger faith. This is the work you do to become part of the community. Examples might be meeting new people and opening to learning from one another. It could be joining a covenant group, taking on a leadership role in the community, even something as simple as showing up and being present to one another. In community, we find ways to connect and be both spiritual and religious. In the center of it all, in the center of our triangle, is covenant. Covenant is the promises we make together and how we are going to live our core values, about how we want to be with one another and in this world. Those promises hold together the spiritual and religious and community. I grew up believing in God, Jesus, the Trinity, etc. I no longer hold those same beliefs, but I do believe there is some higher power, something greater than me. What that power is, I don't have the answers. For now, when someone refers to God in my mind, I substitute the word love. I now see myself as both a spiritual and religious person. What about you? May we continue to walk these intertwined paths with open minds, compassionate hearts, and a steadfast commitment to justice and love. May our individual spirits find nourishment in this community, and may our collective religion be a beacon of hope and a transformation of the world a transformation in a world that so desperately needs it. May it be so. Amen. Ashe. Thank you for your generous support for our last week's outreach offering to support the Molly B. Foundation. Today's community plate supports the Mount Kearsarge Indian War Museum in Warner. Through partnership with Native people, Mount Kearsarge Indian Museum serves a living center for artistic expression, traditional values, and contributions from past and contemporary Native life. The museum embraces cultural diversity and encourages environmental action based upon respect for nature and a deeper understanding of Native cultures. These are reflected throughout the museum. There are trails outside and inside our exhibits and artifacts that explain the Native American life from prehistoric through contemporary times. Our morning offering will now be gratefully received. May we be transformed by our giving, and may the world be transformed by our gifts. Please rise in body or spirit for our closing hymn, number 1028 in our teal hymnal, The Fire of Commitment. Go out into the world in peace. Honor one another. Listen with an open heart. Stay curious. Have courage to be kind. And live always in the way of love. I now invite you to extinguish your chalice at home as Elaine, my mother-in-law, extinguishes our chalice here in the sanctuary. Please read on the words aloud with me on the screen. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of this faith we share, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Now please join me in singing our unison benediction. If you're comfortable joining hands or elbows, go ahead and reach out. And if you're not, reach out with your heart to all of us worshiping with you, knowing you are not alone.